2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back once again. It is Wednesday, so you know what it is. It's time for Jabronis United. I am your host, the realer deal Ronald Regan. With me, as usual, is the sniper Kyle Krieger throwing up guns. He might as well be a Hardy Boy at this point. He's got the facial hair for it. He's got the clear skin of like a Jeff that could use the paint, but he's got the beard of a Matt who's gone crazy.
Exactly. Yes.
There we go. That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for you.
Wonderful. Yes. Hello, everyone. This evening, it is Wednesday night once again, and Ryan, you know what
Yeah,
time it is? Do you know what time
it's
it
time
is?
to talk some wrestling nonsense, man, because that's what it all is. We will be talking AEW Dynamite as usual at the 10 o'clock hour, as well as going into the AEW Full Gear predictions. We will be doing all 9 matches, including the pre show. So if you want to go ahead, get into the chat and let us know your predictions for Saturday night, we are going to go ahead and take those. But first and foremost, our main discussion for the night, kind of like the John Oliver main segment of the conversation that we're going to go into. There was something that happened in the last week or so that pretty much spurred on this conversation, and I was just thinking that there's something that's kind of been happening a lot in wrestling that I'm maybe a little bit tired of. Do you know what that might be?
Not a clue. What is it?
Well, it's obviously something that you and I and Davion, we don't have an issue with, right?
Right.
Loyalty.
Right. I don't know. How loyal are we, though? That's the real question.
Don't
Hmm.
jinx it. No, no, don't, no snide conversation. No, don't, no. Stop it.
Yes.
But yeah, there's been a lot of like, not just in necessarily in any one particular brand, but there's been a lot of heel turning lately. You've seen it in AEW, you've seen it in WWE, and it kind of got me thinking: is there such a thing as loyalty in wrestling in a non-kayfabe era? Because it seems like
Ah,
everybody knows like who's
yeah.
friends outside of the ring nowadays. So it kind of makes it a little bit hard to like really get invested in anybody inside the ring. Case
This
in
is
point,
true.
the one thing that came up that really sparked me was this little merger. The combination of Kyrie Sane and Asuka now joining in with Bailey's damage control. Now the thing is,
Well, we
anybody that has followed Asuka or Kyrie or even Io's history knows they've worked well together overseas.
absolutely. It's I am very hyped for this merger. It's I wouldn't even consider it a true betrayal because they've worked together in the past, and it was anticipated as not an if they would join together, but a when. So it's really more of a matter of who will be the odd one out in this that eventually gets betrayed by the majority of the group or vice versa.
Right, but that's also part of the issue I have with it. It's like by showing this grouping coming together, isn't not necessarily a foregone conclusion that Bailey is going to be the odd woman out here.
Could be
It's
Dakota Kai.
actually 3 against 1 because Dakota Kai is not even off the injured list yet.
Hmm. But then again, who is really ready for Asuka?
Well, Asuka already being somebody who at one point was pairing up with Charlotte and Bianca Belair. and then all of a sudden the man Kyrie's back. It's like the Kabuki Warriors 2.0, which obviously I don't think they'll reference.
Probably not, but I'm all for it. All for it. I am a huge fan of Asuka and Kairi Sane. So having them match together is wonderful. The hell was that?
I didn't hear no.
I heard a. I don't know.
No, I pressed no button. I
I
swear.
may be going crazy. Who knows?
Then I pressed the button.
Did you push the
Don't give
button?
me that look.
You push the button. Does the elevator go down the hole? You push the button. I think you might need to
You did
adjust the
say down the
volume on
hole,
that
so I
one.
had to go with the plumber.
Ow, my head. I think you might need to turn the volume down on that one. But as I was saying before I was laughably interrupted, I am all for this. I'm all for this, and yes, it does feel that Bailey is the odd one out in this group, but it could absolutely be Dakota Kai when she does eventually return. She could return into a big betrayal, but right now I'm going to enjoy the ride while it lasts.
Well, that's also the one other aspect of this. I mean, anyone that says that any of these women are like, altruistic. Asuka has turned on people. Bailey has turned on people. Io Shirai, or back when she was Io Shirai in NXT, she turned on people. Dakota Kai famously did it at War Games during her NXT days. Um, Kylie might be the only innocent one, and I think she's simply joining up because of her loyalty to her other overseas friends there.
Well, she absolutely could be the one who gets betrayed. Hell, they could even betray Asuka. And it turns out that Asuka wasn't ready for them. Who knows? But
It just seems
the history that you mentioned definitely plays into it because it does leave the possibility open, the doors open for different types of betrayal angles. And of course, with how but then again, I was about to say because of how they usually do factions, there's going to be an inevitable betrayal. Maybe there won't be. Maybe that will be the twist that it won't be a betrayal.
which I would actually like to see because it seems like any other time there is factions, there's always like some sort of animosity where it feels like someone's going to turn on the group or something like that. Case in point, leading over to the LWO,
Mm-hmm.
you had Santos finally going ahead and going ape shit on Ray, which
Espiritu
if you're
Santo.
Ray Mysterio, you can't trust your comrades. You can't trust your own son.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Eddie's dead. Like, who do you have left?
Who knows? Who knows? But that's the point of
And the
it.
thing is, like, this almost seemed like I know they were trying to telegraph it. That I can't stand. I can't stand when a heel turn is trying to be telegraphed. It's like if you're really working up animosity, then work up a way to fix the animosity. Don't let that stuff just keep brewing and brewing and brewing, kind of like how they did with Dominic.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it's just like how you said, it's not if, it's when. I don't want to know when. I don't want to know that something is waiting in the wings like that. Surprise me. Make it come out of nowhere,
Surprise.
then give the reasoning for it. Sometimes the best heel turns are the ones that you don't see coming. It's not like a Big Show sort of thing where he's turning his heel so many times I'm surprised his ankles are still intact.
Hmm. This is true. But then again, Big Show is a special case with the sheer amount of betrayals and turns that he's had.
Big Show is like the prototype
He is the
for
nonstop betrayal.
like Big Show is loyal to nobody. Like even Kevin Nash is more loyal, and that's as long as he gets a paycheck.
But that is kind of the funny part. But yeah, but then again, Kevin Nash the only thing that's betraying Kevin Nash is his knees.
Oof.
Yep.
Oh, poor man. I
Yeah.
feel bad
Oh,
for
I
him.
know.
I don't, but should. But yeah, like when you have these faction things, it always feels like, I can understand some people being angry, and I can understand some people having like differences of opinion. But what I can't stand is that all of a sudden it automatically has to go into like, oh, you're talking ish about me? You don't believe me? Boom. Automatically a punch. Just
Boom.
walk out, walk away, talk about it. Why does everything have to be like so punctuated with the most extreme resolution?
I don't know. It's just that's just the nature of the game. It's the nature of the game.
Right, but doesn't it show a lot more impact when it's something that you don't see coming? Like I believe one of the ones that you wanted to point out, um, and which is probably like a classic, the kick heard round the world.
Hmm. Yeah, it's that one does hold dear to a lot of people's hearts, especially those who were watching this as a kid. It was yeah, exactly. You saw it coming a mile away indeed. But it was so good. It was done so well, and it just led up to the super kick that ended Jannetty's career essentially. It's like,
Yeah, true. I mean, it's one thing if you just break up a tag team. It's another thing when you pretty much do so in a way that destroys a man from ever working again in an industry.
yep. And it like it still resonates today. That this is
But
essentially when Shawn Michaels got his true start. Yeah, yeah, he and Jannetty had a great run, but this catapulted his career.
yes, this was the thing that made Shawn Michaels as opposed to just Shawn Michaels of the Rockers.
The Heartbreak Kid, indeed. Breaking the window with
I
Jannetty's face.
I
Boom.
mean, it does kind of hurt though that for the most part, anytime someone goes ahead and gets like shot up to the moon, it's usually because they have to go ahead and betray somebody that they've been working alongside for many a year. And it feels like the only way people actually get pushed up in the roster or get any kind of like boost in sales or viewership is when they show that they're ready to kick somebody to the curb.
To an extent. Usually it helps solo careers for sure. Most of the time. Other times it's like, yeah, they break up they break up a team, they send someone on a solo thing, and their solo run completely fizzles out, and congratulations, you just broke up a incredibly popular team for nothing.
Hmm.
So
I mean, I guess that's always the risk.
that is always the risk, yes, but it doesn't need to be. Like these can be done well. Harp HBK and Jannetty was done well at the very least for Shawn Michaels, because that Shawn Michaels being a top guy was one of the defining things about the Attitude Era. It was
Well, I mean,
basically
it's essentially one of those
I think
off,
it's
yeah.
kind of signaled the end of the not like the early mid not like the early 90s wrestle like WWE that we all knew and love, and this was the kick that kick started the Attitude Era.
Yeah, this was the end of the new generation
Yes.
because when you start seeing like these bright, shiny hopefuls show a
Hmm.
darker edge to them, it's like,
Exactly.
ooh,
And not only that,
ooh.
Jannetty and HBK was basically a poster child for the new generation era
Mhm.
for that new era. And it's like even this promo was set up in that bubbly woo we're awesome type mentality that you saw with Hulkamania, that you saw in the early 90s, and then it just got kicked through the window. In fact, I hope that they use the shattering glass for the barbershop window in Stone Cold's intro. I hope that's where they got the sound effect from.
That poor face.
Janetti, his face was never the same again.
His smile was gone
He
long
certainly
before
made
time.
he certainly he certainly made well enough for himself afterwards, but he in terms of stardom in the WWE, he never reached that high point again.
Now, on the reverse tip, when you have a betrayal that actually benefits everybody, I mean, you can always look to the Shield and Seth Rollins selling out to join the Authority. And pretty much everyone out of the Shield, Roman, Dean, or Moxley, as he is now, and Seth, they've all excelled. Not you can't really say anyone was dropped, with the exception of maybe WWE not knowing how to use Moxley, but AEW certainly does.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah, there's another one too, of course, Jeff.
Oh yeah, Owen and Brett was a phenomenal one too. Enough is enough. It's time for a change. It is.
That's almost a little bit different. I hate to say it because that's more of like family rivalry. For me, that's like when if like Matt and Jeff Hardy had issues,
They did at
or
one
like
point.
Undertaker and
Kane.
Kane.
Well, that one started as a rivalry, so I wouldn't. So
Exactly.
that one wasn't really necessarily a
But then they
betrayal.
wouldn't team up.
Betrayal being that they started as rivals. Like
Yeah, but every
Edge and
time they
Christian breaking up, that could be considered one. Dudley Boys breaking up, if they did with that could be one. Uh, Owen and Brett is a good breakup. I like that. That was a very good one as well. The one that you mentioned before, Andre turning on Hogan, even though that was kind of, you saw that one coming, it was still done really well.
Well, the thing is with that one, was that really more Andre or was that Bobby the Brain Heenan?
Hmm. You could also have what's it called? The superpower breakup. Savage and Hogan.
Oh well, oh, no. You mean Hogan and Macho Man over Miss Elizabeth?
Mm-hmm.
That was just pure drama. That
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
even like
That is a poster child for wrestling being a soap opera.
well, I mean, because you can't really say there was any betrayal because you can't really say Hogan was doing anything wrong. Macho Man only thought he was doing things wrong.
Hmm.
Oh, and Jeff's chiming on that one. He's saying it's definitely more Bobby. Definitely Bobby
Bobby.
having control over the big giant.
Bobby.
Which I would say yes. But again, like that's one of those things, kind of like how the Shield breaks up. It's different if you have like a disloyalty, a breakup, a fight between two or three people that ends up elevating both people more so than them being a tag team would have. That I like to see. I like to see everyone excel. I don't like to see one person being sacrificed for another.
And yes,
But
mega powers. Yes, you're absolutely right. Mega powers.
exactly.
Absolutely right. Mega powers. My mistake.
That's superpowers. You gotcha.
Eh,
But now, probably the biggest offender of this, are people loyal? Are they not? This whole thing. And I hate to say it because it probably is like, the gift that's kept on giving all these lately
mhm.
is the Usos and the bloodline and the fact that it does not
It's
matter
a
who is
stupid
loyal to who. It
mess.
doesn't matter if Sammy is staying
There have
on.
been
It
so
doesn't
many
matter
back
if
and
Sammy
forths on
is
this one.
still
It's
together.
lost
Like,
all its appeal. It's lost all its luster. It's lost its effect. It's like Jimmy
so
betrays
done.
Jay betrays Jimmy, someone betrays Roman betrays them. It's so played out
Book.
for them.
Yes. This is the stuff that becomes too much for me because then it's like, well, I can't expect or believe anybody.
It's
I
so
I
stupid.
don't have any confidence in any of these people because I just feel like someone's going to screw them over.
It's like the betrayals just aren't done well. But the thing is, every single betrayal benefits Roman Reigns. Every single freaking time inside the matches, it's like, oh, is there going to be a betrayal? Hey, look, because of the betrayal, LOL, Reigns wins. Every friggin' time. There is zero luster about that. Zero. They burned it out.
It's like
They burned that
watch
candle to
something
the
a hundred
ground.
times, it becomes yellow.
It becomes stupid.
But
They've
see, that's what I'm
burnt
saying.
it.
Like
They've
it can
burnt
only
that
be
wick
so
to
much.
the ground.
Yeah, there can only be so much that you try to push a loyalty aspect between
Mhm.
people because sooner or later, people do break, especially when they're thrust upon something.
Yeah. It's like
Now, can you give me an example of anybody, whether it be WWE, AEW, anyone that is loyal to somebody else in wrestling right
New
now?
Day.
Okay, all right, that was actually faster than I expected it to, BB.
I had that one ready to go. I was expecting that one.
Hold on, what?
Rank 10. I predicted that one.
Tugboat turning on the bushwhackers. Oh God. Of all things. Good lord.
Oh, hey, no, wait, that's no, wait, oh, no, wait, and here's Diesel. Big Daddy Diesel.
It just sounds like he's being, "Oh, yeah." That's how it sounds like when you're saying
Honk,
that.
honk, honk.
But, yeah, it's become this thing where if anyone says that they've got someone's back, I don't trust them. If anyone says that they're going to be in someone's corner,
Yes and
I'm
no.
like,
It
if
depends.
you are a
It
manager,
Most of the time you're right. Most of the time you're absolutely right. Though sometimes
so then
it
why do
leads.
you
Sometimes it opens up the lead to a new faction. But it really depends on the who. Are they a face or
Ooh,
are they a heel? Who? Who? Who?
ooh, ooh.
Who? Who? But and also it depends on if there's a manager figure involved.
I would say yes. Again, going back to the whole Bobby Heenan thing with Andre the Giant,
Hmm.
and you could say that as far as the bloodline is concerned, Paul Heyman has done them no favors.
Nope.
Like he may be the wise man, but he's probably got like the most skeletons in his closet.
But that's part of who Heyman is. That's Heyman in a nutshell, especially for coming from ECW. And yep, yes, no, Jeff, you're absolutely right. It was always Earthquake versus Tugboat because they were the two big meaty men slapping meat. They were the big guys. They were the ones who always broke the ring. Or it's like that was what was always hyped up. The clash between Earthquake and Tugboat because they were essentially the big
Typhoon.
guys. And
Yeah, but the fact that one of your biggest guys was called Tugboat, that was just adorable. When he became Typhoon, I was like, eh.
that created the natural disasters. Like that stuff. That's when a betrayal or a turn is done well because it creates something new. It doesn't just it doesn't just it's not a betrayal or a turn just for the sake of betrayal. It needs to
Right.
push the story along. It needs to create something. It needs to advance something. It needs to do something other than for
Now,
the sake of
speaking
betrayal,
on that,
which is what Roman
just
Reigns
talking
is.
about things that are done just for betrayal. Just to switch over to AEW for a quick sec,
Mm,
the whole thing with Nick Wayne and Darby Allen.
mm.
Do you think that was betrayal just done for betrayal? Because I think it was.
Yes. No, I agree. I'm in agreement with that.
Like there is just no reason for this. He barely was on television for like a month.
Hmm. Well, he is in. He is in. He's basically they. I guess they just needed a third guy for the tag match coming up, and that's why they
Like
did.
they don't have enough guys in the back.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like the only other betrayal that you could see like a mile away is the eventual MJF and Adam Cole Bebe betrayal. But because Cole's on the shelf right now, that hasn't happened yet. But that's going to happen eventually, just because of the two characters. Also with Roderick Strong somewhere in there. But it's but the thing is, they were playing off of that and then it's like ooh, here comes the betrayal, and then they hang a giant lampshade on it. They work the crowd on it. I like that. It's like, okay, they're using the expectations and using it well.
However, with the Darby Allin thing, this is coming off of the heels of AR Fox
Heels.
betraying him for the moguls.
Yeah, it's
Like,
like
come on, cut him a
like with the
break.
Roman Reigns thing, like with the Bloodline thing. It's just, if you do too many betrayals in a too short of time, it really loses the effect. It's the Big Show effect, essentially.
Basically, yes. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be the same person flipping side to side. It's just a matter of one of your only
True.
storytelling devices is the flip.
Exactly. It's a it's a problem that WWE writing fell into during like the early mid 2000s. It was just betrayal for the sake of betrayal, and it's like no one could have like a clean match. No one could have like a straightforward match without some form of betrayal somewhere in there if they were involved in any type of team or faction. It was basically anti-faction wars. You should put some money on
Definitely,
that. You probably would have
definitely
made
fair.
something.
But yeah, I don't know. It feels like a trope that has been worn thin.
It has. It
And
it
the,
if it's done poorly, it absolutely has.
yes. And the fact of the matter is, we already know due to certain lead ups that more is going to happen.
Hmm.
So that way, it's like nothing's going to feel fresh.
Everything feels stale.
It's a
Stale.
shame. It really. But yeah. Outside of that, there is one question I would have. Have you ever heard of a someone's loyalty being waned, and they end up doing the right thing as opposed to being going heel? Like who drops off their loyalty to be like, nah, man, I gotta do what's right.
Uh, Brian Danielson.
Brian Danielson.
He-
How so?
Remember when he was involved with the Wyatts, where he was brought in and then he immediately betrayed him because that was his whole thing. He was infiltrating, but so it's like, I guess you could say he was doing what's right. Let's
Well,
see.
yeah, but if he was already like doing it under false
Mm.
pretenses, like it's kind of like the whole Randy Orton joining the Wyatts thing. It's
Or
like
Randy Orton
you
joining
already
any team,
knew
really.
Randy wasn't sticking with them. He didn't believe in what Bray was saying.
But then again, funny you mentioned Randy Orton. Randy Orton is one of those who will always betray you for himself.
And yet, I was most convinced of his pairing with Matt Riddle. Like, I honestly thought,
It went longer than I thought it would, but it's like,
I don't know, it felt like Riddle was like softening him up a little bit.
well, like
Randy kind of had like a little bit of like a smile to his
it's like
face.
this. It's like Adam Cole and MJF for that, except not done as well.
Well, I mean, now we may never see Randy wrestle and again. So I mean, who
Which
knows?
is kind of a shame, but
And maybe
guy
watching
has absolutely
Bro
had a full career.
done. So
Hmm.
imagine who is going to get backstabbed
Hmm.
next.
Speaking of expected backstabs that you felt was going to happen but didn't happen for a while, one of my favorite backstab moments was Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho.
Oh, the list of Jericho. Yes.
The Festival of Friendship.
Hmm.
They that was literally that was one of the hottest things I had. That was one of like the best storyline angles during that time period. Of course, it was completely botched by Vince and his writing crew and booking in at WrestleMania. Like, the finale was completely screwed over. Like, that should have been at least that should have been the opening match, or it should have been very late in the card, because that had months of buildup, that had storyline, that had everything needed to have a fantastic WrestleMania payoff, and they basically threw it in as just a yeah, we'll just put you here type match. It was in the afterthought spot. Granted, the match was all right.
Yeah,
It's
well,
just yeah. Uh, Ahmed Johnson joining the Nation, and then the next week he gets kicked out, and the week after, well, he he probably got kicked out because they were planning on booting him from the company. But
right, but I mean, that goes right back to the
yes,
whole AR Fox thing. It's like the minute he joins Mogul Embassy, he's there for like maybe a week or two,
hmm
and then they just like,
they
nah, man, and then Strickland kicks him out, and
it's
then he's
like
like, Darby, it's like, trust me, man, I made a mistake. It's like, yeah, you did.
mhm. Yeah, it's like that one was a. It's like I guess they started going with the idea, and then like literally that night or the next day, they're like, you know what, we're putting the kibosh on this right away. It's like nope, oops, our bad. We're gonna just drop this angle like
It's like
immediately.
it becomes something where it's just cheap heat.
Yes. Oh,
You go
absolutely.
ahead, make someone do like something heinous, split off from someone, and then all of a sudden, if it's not working with like the time zone that you figured for it,
Yeah.
it's done. So then loyalty be damned. It's like no one even talks afterward. It's not like, you know what,
Yeah.
you made a mistake. I'm taking you back. I'll be hesitant, but I'll take you back. No one does that. They're just like, nah, screw you. And then you go to like the mid card, or you go to like Rampage, or uh main event or something where no one cares or sees you anymore.
Yeah, the Doom card. It's like yeah,
The Doom card.
the Doom card.
Speaking of Doom cards,
Doom guy, Doom
we
card.
should go ahead and get into our main event for the night, which is AEW Dynamite. And I don't know. There's something about tonight's Dynamite that's like a little off.
There was
Oh wait, I know. It's because they're doing a stupid game collaboration again.
not sponsored by a video. I like that one. Yeah, it. I don't know. I will say that aside from a couple matches and storylines, I don't know. AEW has felt on it. It's on like a lull in terms of their writing and angles. It's like I've been having a hard time really getting into it like I did a couple months ago.
No, of course you have, because what is there to get at this point?
Yeah, it's like I like the MJF angle, but having Adam Cole get sidelined for a bit, that certainly doused some water on that one. They have the they had of course they had red versus blue in Southern California, which that absolutely could not have been a coincidence, with the sky blue versus red velvet for the qualifying match to get into the fatal four way for the TBS title, or correction, the for the final triple threat spot, not fatal four way, triple threat spot for the TBS title. So
Yeah, Red Velvet versus Sky Blue, which I did see the memes going up. How it's like, how are you going to have Crips versus Bloods happening in California?
yeah, yeah, they like that one had apps. That one I don't know who planned that one, but that could not have been a coincidence.
Tony Khan trying to start up like East Coast West Coast again.
But
Not good.
yep, but yeah,
But yeah, who did I get on that?
but we did have a winner of that. It's going to be Sky. It's Sky Blue. She's inside the triple threat.
All right, so it will be Sky Blue versus Statlander
hmm
versus Julia Hart. And I have to think, because it's Sky Blue, Julia's winning it. Because they've done this whole thing with like this new Sky Blue ever since she got like infected, kind of like in the same way Julia Hart was.
Mm,
So I have to think that's going to help her out somehow.
it's certainly possible.
I hope so. I really do.
I hope that. Julia Hart wins it, or even Sky Blue wins it, because it's like I think they've done all they could with Statlander at the moment, so I think they need to switch things up for the TBS title. Let Statlander do something else for a little while, and maybe push her into more of like a main event, like a women's title picture. But
Mhm.
I think Julia Hart or Sky Blue should win the TBS title, but that's just me. I haven't decided exactly who I think will win, but I hope it's not Statlander.
I hope not either, because at this point, it's always better when you actually have a heel with the belt, because then it's about the chase.
Mm-hmm.
But Tyler, just to comment here, um, this main event was sponsored by Like a Dragon Gaiden,
Like a
which is
Dragon
a new super
Gaiden.
game that has come out on consoles.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the match itself. Look, I'm just pull up the Instagram and I'm instantly seeing a video of Kota Ibushi riding around on a bicycle outside the ring with a lead pipe in hand,
I mean,
hitting
the
one
lead pipe is
person
fine,
and
but the
getting
bicycle.
disengaged off the bike.
I mean, the lead pipe is fine, but it's like they could have done without the bike.
If it was a unicycle, I would have laughed. But a
I
bicycle?
would have rather them played on the previous Like a Dragon game, where they basically do a Final Fantasy summon by dialing someone's number on the cell phone.
Yeah, the whole match is called the Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, street fight. I'm like,
They're back to Kazuya. Ugh.
I, I thought
Meh.
it was bad when they did Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is notably worse. I will 100% say that.
But do they really need this? I mean, I understand that like
It
sponsorships are
they need
flawed.
their apparent. I guess maybe they just need the money. Maybe the ratings haven't been doing too well, and the money hasn't gone in due to the kind of storylines that have been going on.
Oh, fair, fair, but boy, oh
It just
boy.
it feels like remember the movie Major League Two?
Oh yes, when they had to like
They
sponsor everything.
yes, where the entire outfield wall was covered in advertisements. And if anyone needs a good proctologist, might I direct your attention to the right field bleachers?
Terrible. But yeah, so
As
outside of things that were progressing matches,
a,
what else did we happen to have going on for this potential Saturday? I know we were supposed to hear about MJF in regards to whether or not he was going to have a tag team partner to assist him during his Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship, which will be going on Saturday against who is it? The Guns?
mhm.
Yeah, it's the Guns.
They kind of had a thing. Yeah, yes, yeah, is MJF and someone versus the Guns, but we had a couple moments during this Dynamite, like say after Samoa Joe beats John Cruz in an AEW squash match, and basically says that Samoa Joe will extend his offer of friendship. So it's like, trust him, time is limited because whether he has his friendship or not, he's Samoa Joe and he is inevitable. That's fantastic. But yeah, so we got a couple.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it's really questionable what you do with Joe. I mean, after what he did with the Ring of Honor TV Championship.
Oh, I would love to see Samoa Joe be a tag team champ with MGF. Those matches would be fantastic, and you even have the dynamic of MJF turning back into his heel persona because he doesn't have the influence of Adam Cole anymore. He has the influence of Samoa Joe. And if they turn out to be a dominant tag title holder, when Cole eventually comes back, you could start another angle with that. That could be some good writing.
But does Joe stick with MJF if he is used in this match? Or does he just do a one and done?
There we go. There we go with the potential, though. That's we could go either way with it. It like what I said. I would hope that if it does happen, it isn't a one and done. They extend it for a while, and MJF eventually becomes like friends with Samoa Joe, and they end up kicking Adam Cole to the curb, or we'll see some sort of betrayal there, where then or MJF and Samoa Joe end up being the loyal group together. So speaking of betrayals that we were talking about before.
Oh no. Speaking of loyalty, like we were talking about before, we saw Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks mix it up backstage.
Yep, that's yeah. Their little tandem is now done, and we have the lead in to Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho of all people versus the
The
Young
Golden
Bucks
Chance. Like, I don't know.
of all. Yeah, got Omega and
Call it the
Jericho.
Golden Theatrics with Jericho. I'm sorry, like Jericho cannot go like he used to.
Sadly,
He is not on
no, but
the spectrum.
when you're part owner of a company, it's you're gonna be in it. It's like I don't think it's reached that level yet, but it's starting to show shades of Jeff Jarrett with Impact.
Oh, okay. I see where you're going with this.
Yes, it's starting to. I,
But you do know that on the website, the Young Bucks no longer have themselves listed as executive vice presidents.
for now,
That list
I
that
I
title
don't
is
trust
blank.
that stuff. That's all storyline writing right there. Look at look at like the actual business papers. That's not like on the AEW website. He can Jericho
He
still
can
go?
still go to the
Yes.
hospital.
It's thing is he's not. Oh yeah, he's not bad by any means. He's not like the Big Slow or
No,
Undertaker in
but
the
he's
ring
getting
or
to
some of the other older characters that pop up into the storylines. But he's not the Jericho that we've watched for years. He's definitely slowed down a bit. So he can still put on a decent match. Absolutely. Because he has the
but he's
in-ring knowledge and the
Jericho
ability to
that
do so.
first came into AEW. That's really the
What
thing.
was that?
He's not the Jericho that first
No.
came into AEW.
But then again, you're older. Age happens. And for pro wrestlers, age happens earlier. And while Jericho has shown fantastic resilience to it, time is undefeated. So it's
Oh, I
like
mean,
he's definitely showing signs that he is slowing down, unfortunately. He's still fantastic to watch. He still can work a
I'm
mic. He
not
can still do a lot of good
necessarily
things.
happy about it.
No. But he can yes, he can still go, but you definitely will notice that the tank is getting lower and lower, if that makes sense.
And of course, they did make announcements for future pay per views as well. Um, there was the announcement of the at World's End will be leading up to it with the Continental Classic. Apparently, 12 stars will enter. One winner will be crowned. And you
12
had Daniel
stars
Bryan looking like a bad pirate talking there with Tony.
minus 12 stars. Yes, we did. uh Going on one of the other comments, the MJF storyline idea. I missed that one. What was it? Let me dig through the list here. That way, MJF is the last to come out. Cole is on the screen, says something along the lines, "I got you, buddy." Out comes Kyle O'Reilly.
Uh,
I That's not a bad idea. It's feasible. It's better
so
than
what?
what they have been writing.
Kyle O'Reilly could be the devil. That's the
MJF,
thing. Who is the devil?
Samoa Joe.
Too big for that outfit.
He's devil, devil, devil.
Everyone
I
from
invented electricity.
Breaker
Ben
and
Franklin is the devil. But
everyone from Great
Jack
Breaker
Perry,
to
Jake
Jungle
Perry.
Boy. It's like anyone under the sun. People have said CM Punk is still around and he's playing devil. Like, come on.
Honestly, I don't think it's like, how can I put it? here's the thing. That storyline actually could work with what I mentioned before, with if MJF and Samoa Joe start becoming buddy buddies, and and then you have the Kyle O'Reilly angle. You could have Roderick Strong get involved. You could get a whole cluster of people involved in this storyline and have a big payout. You could bring in Kyle O'Reilly. You can have Cole and MJF show friction if he has more influence from Samoa Joe. There could be a lot of different things, but then again, it is pro wrestling writing, and it's rarely ever that complicated. But we can have something good. Bobby Fischer, where is he?
Well, the thing is, Roderick is saying he knows who the devil is. I'm like, so you're saying it's you?
The devil is the one inside.
The devil inside. I like that song. It's a good song. But yeah, it's. I mean, this is the go home for a pay per view like this.
Yes.
So I'm not necessarily too surprised that a lot of stuff is just like either leading up to that or promoting stuff for the next pay per view. That's fine. But
Exactly. Yeah, it's like basically every match had something to do with a match that's popping up, like, and pretty much anyone that is in a match at the next pay-per-view ended up being a win. Being a win for whoever was inside the match, or at least kept the storyline up and going, even though we still also had like a appearance by Miro and CJ Perry that she's calling herself, and but even then that was just a video package, and it's not involving the pay per view match. Which you have fucking Miro, use him, put him in the matches
they
for the
had me.
love of Jesus.
This is the land of the Redeemer.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Like,
and pretty much everybody and their mother has been rolling up to CJ Perry, man. It's like, yeah, I don't blame you. I had a
I
car
mean,
named Lana. You know, it's like
yeah,
that's how her motor goes. But it's
I
one of those
bet.
things where it's like, phew.
Yep, the man who erased his name, Street Fight. It's like I'm looking at some of the results here, and I'm like, that is just
Yeah, I mean, Bullet Club Gold.
it's better than the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it's still pretty damn corny.
But yeah, all this MJF Jay Lethal thing. It's like
Hmm.
I'm hoping that nobody from Bullet Club has anything to do with this devil stuff. That it is really just something separate. Let
Right.
everybody be gunning for MJF because he has
That's what it should be.
the chickens coming home to roost.
Hmm. Yep.
You know,
Absolutely.
versus Garcia on Rampage. It's like, yeah, that's fine, but I'd
Yeah,
rather see Miro in an actual thing, not just this lovers quarrel.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Like honestly, it's like it should have started with them being together, and then you could have had a betrayal somehow. You could have absolutely had something like that.
But yeah, outside of all that, it was pretty much just trying to do like a blood and guts sort of thing happening with this 4-on-4 match, and it just yeah, no, it looks ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah, it does.
Just seeing Paul Wright trying to do things. Like, yeah, he slapped a couple of guys on the chest. Outside of
Yeah.
that,
I do like them throwing it back to like the WWE days with the Jarrett show.
that's why I thought the only reason they got Big Show was because of
Yeah,
Jericho.
I agree.
Right? I mean, how many more WWE things is AEW going to lean on?
Unfortunately, it feels like they're turning into the new Impact instead of the next WWE.
Even Impact is staying away from Impact, even though it's turning back to TNA.
This is true. AEW Impact. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Jeff. Miro versus House of Black storyline that was great, and then it just off to
Well,
the
here's my hope. I'm hoping
hoping.
that somehow there will be some involvement between CJ Perry and Julia Hart, especially once Hart gets the TBS belt, and that might rekindle things.
Absolutely.
because
that
let's
would be
face
great.
it, Miro is a guy who could easily be in a 3-on-1 competition. He's proven it before.
Mhm.
Now, I don't know, Miro versus Brody King, that would be just Clash of the Titans.
That would be
Absolutely.
great. Or even Miro versus Brian Cage. That could work. Get the Don Callis family involved.
Well, yeah, but then you'd have Brian Cage plus Powerhouse Hobbs. Like, that's almost a little too much.
Big meaty men slapping meat.
Yes, but then might have to rely on somebody, and who is Miro going to rely on?
That's that. And that is the trick of the storyline. That's what would be built up.
Where is the loyalty?
Who knows? Maybe you'll see a betrayal inside the Don Callis family
I
who joins Miro because he is oh so good at influencing.
mean, Powerhouse Hobbs already left. What's his face? QTV.
He did.
So it's like
So maybe it's Brian Cage who betrays Powerhouse Hobbs.
technically Cage is already with Mogul. Everyone's got like somebody in their back pocket.
Though, speaking of Brian Cage, there is only one opponent I want to see Brian Cage fight, and that's Christian Cage in a steel cage match.
That's a lot of Cage.
Book it, Con.
Don't act like he wouldn't. He would. He would. Speaking
Uh-huh.
of bookings, all right, now that we've talked enough about AEW Dynamite, we do have to get to our final bit of information here. We have to talk AEW Full Gear predictions.
Mm-hmm.
So, everybody, if you're watching in the comment section, break out your pen and paper. Let us know who you are going to want in these 9 matches that are going to be coming up this Saturday night from California. Probably the second to last big pay per view of the year for AEW.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I think the big question of the night here is, will MJF leave with any belt whatsoever?
Mm-hmm.
Because as of right now, his tag belts, his ROH tag belts, are in jeopardy. He may be in a 2-on-1 match, or he may have to team with somebody who does not have his best, thoughts in mind. And then he does have to put the Triple B on the line against the knife pervert Jay White.
Absolutely. And also, for those watching, add your predictions as well. We will be happy to keep track of it.
Now, of course, since
We do
Davion
have a fan pick section.
his predictions later on, that'll go on the sheet. We'll talk about that next week when he comes back. But
Mhm.
as for tonight, let us get into the matches themselves, shall we?
Yep. I will be going from the bottom of my list here up.
Oh,
With
well, I was just going to go through this line of pictures.
fine. Fine, we'll do it that way.
Okay. So, first in the docket, we have for the TBS belt, Julia Hart versus the champion Chris Statlander versus, as we know now, Sky Blue. And
Indeed.
as we already talked, I do think we want Julia Hart to go over. Yes,
That's what I want, but I will take anyone over Statlander at this point.
anybody.
I'll take Ruby Soho invading the match over Statlander. I will take Red Velvet diving into the match. I will take Santina making a surprise appearance and getting the title over Statlander at this point.
Why so much hate? I mean, I know I'm not
I'm
a
I'm I'm it's like
Statlander,
it's
but
like
damn.
this like the same deal with Charlotte, with the same deal with Roman Reigns, with the same deal with a lot of title holders that I feel I don't feel that it is beneficial to keep the belt on Statlander for too long. It doing the same thing over and over again lessens the effect.
Well, yeah. Here's the
It
thing.
starts
Statlander,
feeling stale.
yeah,
And
Statlander.
while Statlander is immensely talented, I like watching her, but I think she's getting stale with the TBS title at this point.
Yes, her character wise,
Yes.
she was more interesting when people thought she was an alien.
Yes. Another example, Tony Storm. When they finally got the belt off of her and that and whatnot. She's now like the character evolution has been fantastic since that point.
Oh, I'm in love with her. It's the actor in me.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, Sky Blue
Oh,
Mist.
okay,
All right.
interesting. So Jeff is
Okay,
thinking Sky
I
Blue
like
hits
it.
and miss.
Watch your back, criminals. When I get pissed, you get missed.
I don't know if it's gonna go that far. Like, certainly we've seen the corruption
It's
in Sky Blue.
predictable, and
Yeah.
well, no, no, it's like that. That's actually a very good prediction, mainly because recently a lot of like mist based attacks end up being okay, it gets that one person and then the person who fired the mist ends up getting blindsided and then the person who did the blindsiding pins the person who got misted. That's happened a couple times in recent months.
Yeah, I mean, you see it plenty from Asuka.
Exactly. And with how AEW's writing has been, it's feeling slightly Vincian.
Formulaic.
Yes, formulaic.
I hate formulaic. But yeah, you might be right. It might go down that way
it
exactly.
it feels that because that's how it feels that AEW is being written at the moment.
All right, Jeff, I will tell you this. If it happens exactly like you just said, you get 10 points automatically on the board.
Ryan will dance for you,
No, we'll do 10 points.
but I thought everything's made up and the points don't matter.
I'm sorry. I don't see Aisha Tyler here.
I was
Points
going more
matter.
Drew. I was going Drew Carey.
Oh, you're taking it that far back. Not the British guy.
I was about to say, is like, do you want me to go even further?
Yes, go further.
Richard.
Back when they had that big guy with the mole on his upper bald head, who was
Oh
in
God,
what was it, Richie Rich? Yeah.
something like that.
All right. So we are both in agreement. Julia Hart.
Okay.
Now, this one, which has been a match
Clive
long
Anderson.
time coming.
Clive Anderson. That's the person. That's the old Who's Line guy. So I just want to get one more time. You're picking Hart.
Yes.
All right. Right now that seems to be unanimous. So we'll see what Davion picks. So, all right, next match.
This one is interesting.
It's a rehash of the previous match where then Moxley gets hurt and has to lose the title right on back. So they put it right back on Cassidy. Are they doing a mulligan and this time having Moxley win it for longer than a week?
That's why it's interesting. I mean, for all intents and purposes, this literally is a match that could go either way.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, do they put it back on Moxley and do the storyline that they originally intended to do? Or do they just keep it on Cassidy because he's been doing great with it, and they'll basically put the conclusion on this one and move on with Cassidy being the title holder? That's
See,
our fork.
yeah, I
Okay.
just for the sake of actually giving Orange Cassidy a rest,
Yeah, seriously.
I would want to put it on Moxley. I would want to see Moxley win because look, nothing against Orange Cassidy. He has been a trooper through all
Mm-hmm.
of this.
He absolutely
He-
has.
Even doing the John Moxley thing and coming back when he was supposed to be on break
Yep.
because of Ray Phoenix
Mm-hmm.
and because Moxley was concussed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know what? He absolutely could keep running with it because right now the AEW International Championship is he's basically right now he's really associated with it,
It is his
and
belt.
it's his belt.
It's like
So
John
it's
Cena
like,
with the Spinner US title.
what does this belt have pockets in it instead of side
Dude,
plates? You have
if we
pockets.
did it, all right. Hey, if we can get a triple B from MJF, then he should be able to make a belt that has pockets. That this way, when he wears the
That would
belt,
be
he just
great.
puts his hands in the belt pocket.
Exactly. That's a brilliant idea. I love it. And we need to clip this and send it to Tony Khan.
He's got the money. He can make another belt.
Absolutely. Exactly. It's like whoever's watching this, write a letter to Tony Khan, tell him to put pockets on the Orange Cassidy belt
Yes.
instead of side plates saying OC. No, side plates of pockets. Just sew them on there.
Apparently, Jeff wants to see it stay on OC.
Which is perfectly fine. It absolutely. It's like it really can go either way. I would be fine with either person winning. And I think that's a great feeling to have. It's because both directions can lead to good stories.
They're both stalwart performers. They're both
Mm-hmm.
very loyal to AEW, really pulling it out when they need to. But I think just for the length of the title and who should be holding it for a little bit longer than the other, Mox has to have it.
I
Really?
don't necessarily agree with the reasoning,
Well,
but I'm also picking Mox.
it's not only that. It's the fact that as of right now, Blackpool Combat Club is like,
They need a title in injection.
they need a shot in the arm, absolutely.
They do.
And this would be it.
Absolutely. It's definitely one of the options, and hopefully it will lead to Blackpool Combat Club becoming. It's like they've been having good matches. They've been there and prominent, but a faction does need the occasional title win to keep being powerful, to keep being relevant. It's like, yeah, they don't need to hold the title all the time, but they do need to be involved with the title, with some title scenes. They need to win them on occasion to just show it's like, okay, this is why people should join us. This is why we're powerful. This is why we're awesome. This is why we're a good faction, because they can win the gold on occasion, even if it's an undercard title. It's still it's still a title. Kind of like what we thought with what was going to happen with Judgment Day. We thought that they were all going to get gold at one point because that could have led to a pretty interesting storyline. And they're a heel faction, so you have like get some face teams together and start fighting them.
And
for the gold.
They all did have gold.
I don't think all at once. I think there was always like at least one or two people that didn't.
No, at one point, Rhea had her belt.
She
Don
did.
had North American, and then the boys had the tag belts.
But was it all at once?
Yeah,
I know they were in the matches for them. I remember there was one time where it's like you had Priest going after the belt from Seth Rollins, but he lost it, so he didn't have a title for a while. And while say like I think like Finn had one while Priest didn't, and you had Dom with one, you had Rhea and Dom with one. It was always Priest and Finn that were the ones that didn't really have something.
right. But the minute they won the tag belts, there was that whole picture of them up by the entrance of all four of them together, all four of them shining their things.
Okay, so then that must have been like for a really short time.
It was.
Okay.
For some reason, they didn't want them to have the same kind of dominance that, say, like the Authority had,
or it overshadowed their baby bloodline,
or the 2-man power trip. You know, they didn't want them to have that kind of power. God forbid.
God forbid they push someone other than a Roman Reigns thing.
Okay, so I'm choosing Moxley.
As am I, but I'm thinking that it's so that they do their originally planned storyline that they kind of had to put on hold after Mox got concussed. Hopefully he avoids the concussion this time.
Whatever reason may be.
Yep.
Now,
yeah, I'm going with Mox as well.
Match.
Okay.
I really don't know what to feel about this.
I'm going Copeland, Allen, and Sting because you have it's Edge's return. It's Edge's return pay-per-view match. It's a big one against Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Wayne, and you have Sting's retirement tour. You got multiple things going for the Copeland, Allen, Sting team to win it, to advance more of the storyline.
I know,
but then again, they could have so many things going for them, and then they'll pull the swerve and have Cage win. That's certainly possible.
Cage has just been such a good father figure. You know,
He has been one of the most entertaining people on the mic,
I mean, to both
which is
Luchasaurus
wonderful.
and Nick. You know, it's
Eh,
like you want
but
to talk about a Don.
it
What
is
about the Christian
multiple
Cage?
factions going at it though.
The Christian Cage family is just like a
Cage
unit.
match. Yeah. But what was the last time you had Ed? You had basically Edge versus Christian. It's been a while since we've seen
Ooh,
that.
God, how many years ago was that?
That's been a while.
Because Christian wasn't around when Edge came back, was he?
Yes. I think he came back for like a moment,
Yeah, but not. He wasn't.
but then he immediately got shuffled off to who knows what to basically AEW.
Yeah, he made maybe a guest appearance, but he wasn't an
Yes.
active competitor like years prior when they were both singles.
Adam Copeland, this is your life. God.
As long as
Personally,
they had
though,
a television show on the WWE network, they were still together as friends. But outside of that, no.
yeah. Personally, I'm gonna go with Copeland, Allen, and Sting. It is literally the first big match after the Sting retirement tour, after the Adam Copeland signing, etc., etc. So it's like, you know what? I think that it's going to be Copeland, Allen, and Sting, unless Nick Wayne pins Darby Allin, because I don't think there's any chance in hell Sting is getting pinned. I don't think they're going to have Edge lose his first his first pay-per-view match in AEW.
Well,
Fine.
yeah, I mean that's the thing.
Correction. I don't think he's going to take the fall if he loses.
Yeah, that's the difference. I mean, you can still have the unit lose, but Edge not be pinned.
Yes, and that's why I said there is certainly a possibility for Cage, Luchasaurus, and Wayne to win. Darby Allin is the pinnable target on that team, absolutely. But I don't think that's going to happen.
It could be Sting. It could be maybe.
I think Edge is going to end up pinning Nick Wayne while staring Christian in the face.
Oh, that would be merciless.
Yes.
But I'm look. We've been on the same page so far, but I feel like just for gamesmanship, I will go ahead and I will pick the Christian Cage family.
Okay. Cage family.
Just because there might be some tomfoolery.
Absolutely. Oh no, that I absolutely agree that it is certainly possible.
And yeah, Jeff's got the right idea.
I can see Darby take the fall, and later Darby turns on Sting to set up Sting's last match against.
No, we were just talking about loyalty. If anyone should be loyal to one
I don't think that's gonna happen just yet.
No.
Eventually, sure, but it is certainly it is certainly possible. It's a much more even split than the what I'm making it out to be.
So,
It's definitely not a 50-50 split. There's definitely an advantage in terms of the odds for Copeland, Allen, and Sting to win it. But Cage, I would put Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne at, it would be a 40-60 percentage.
Fair.
Rather than say 25-75.
Now this match.
So Jeff, so who do you pick, Jeff? Feel free to write it in the comments so I can mark it down.
Write that in the comments so we have it.
Yep. I need a clear answer. Is there anyone else in this house? Yes or no?
All right. So while you're getting Jeff's answer, we go on to
infinite movie references.
Page and Swerve 2.
Page Swerve 2. Well,
let us be clear. Their first match, barn burner.
Absolutely. And Swerve actually got a win out of it.
Yes. And that
was beautiful.
You've got these two guys who are relatively, I don't want to say mid-card, automatically mid-card. They're not. But they're on their way back up to prominence. Swerve has never been there. Hangman has. And I think this rivalry has really been helpful for both.
Are they going to set up for a Page Swerve 3? Well, that because he had Swerve drew first blood. Swerve drew first blood and got his first win in a long time. The
Yes.
question is, with the matches on TV, who has the momentum?
Well, if you ask Jeff, he doesn't think either of them do.
Okay, that is certainly a definitive outcome.
That
I could
that
put
is
I
actually
could put you down by I could put you down for a no contest.
it is an option. That is the double zero on this roulette wheel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I could put you down for the double zero.
But the way things have gone so far in their rivalry, I have to go with Paige on this. I do think the rubber match could be something that comes up. Maybe not necessarily the next pay-per-view, but
Yeah.
certainly
Well,
within like the next couple of months.
their first match was a pay-per-view. This match is a pay-per-view as well. So I don't think the storyline will end just yet cuz they definitely they started the rivalry at the previous pay. Well, I say started. They had their first main match at the pay-per-view at the last pay-per-view, and this is the second main match. Are they going to build it up to a final outcome? Because if they do, that's what they're going to plan, then I absolutely would agree that Paige wins.
If
If
worst
this
case
is
scenario
a
was Paige wins, but then Swerve and Mogul Embassy just start running roughshod over him, and then someone else gets involved in this rivalry. Because right now
okay,
it is pretty much like a 1 versus 1,000 sort of scenario.
okay, you know that makes a lot of sense. Okay, all right, I'll bite on that. I'll
Once
bite on
again,
that. I'll bite on it. I I I am humble enough to agree on things.
wow.
I am not so prideful to disregard other predictions. So you know what? I will bite on this one. I will bite on this one. I will give it.
When you say stuff like that, you sound like Bob from Distractable. Like,
Would you rather me break out Dr. Krieger from Archer?
hey, I
That is
like
my
Archie
last name,
too.
by the way.
All right, so I'm
So
going
I
Paige.
think and like I said, you convinced me. I'll go with Paige as well.
All right.
And it looks like we have Jeff also saying that Paige is winning with a barbed wire buckshot. 1, 2, 3. 3.
Now this one, I
He's going.
swear to God, if Tony don't
He's basically finding his way to the center of the Tootsie Pop.
win, speaking of Tootsie Pop,
Mm.
Tony.
I love the new gimmick. Absolutely love it. But
Now, don't get me wrong.
I don't think Sheeta's losing the belt just yet.
Don't get me wrong. I love Hikaru Shida too. She is a badass on any caliber. She could go for any belt. She could be in any brand, and she would murder.
She
And
would.
I like that about her because she is tough as nails,
I
especially when
don't.
you get a kendo stick in her.
Yeah.
But it's Tony.
It is, but I don't think Sheeta's losing the belt in this one.
Oh no! Come on,
You
dude.
can go.
Imagine if Tony Storm did win the belt that Hikaru Shida took off of Saraya, her former tag partner, her former friend, her former outcast.
Okay.
And then Tony is there, glorious in all of her majesty, belt in hand, lipstick on lip. And then Saraya and Ruby come out and they're like trying to be buddy buddy with her again because she has the belt. Imagine the drama.
Glorious. I won't give in.
And the thing is, now Tony Storm has a number two to pretty much balance out with things.
She does.
Yes.
It is. This one is absolutely a coin flip.
What is it? What are they calling her in this? Masha May? Masha May? How does her name goes?
Uh, Good question.
Jeff, you would know this. How was the spelling go?
Mariah May.
Mariah May. Okay.
Yep.
Uh, okay. Now, Jeff, no, that is just crude. No, no,
Hmm.
no, no. We will not will talk like that.
Slappity dappity.
Titty slaps all day.
Slap a dap. But
We
yeah,
will
so
make it
it's
online.
plus it's like they got Luther, they got Mariah May, so outside of not Tommy Storm's office with RJ City.
But yeah,
So
again, if it comes to the fact that Mariah May ends up becoming like the Ruby Soho
I
to Tony Saraya with the belt and everything, I'd love to see that 2-on-2 clash and really give Mariah May like an option to glow up a little bit. Kind of like in the same way Zoe Stark when she made the main roster hit and she aligned herself with Trish Stratus. That really helped propel Zoe.
yeah.
It didn't make her seem like just a gopher or a tag along. It elevated her now to the point where she is a number one competitor. So this might be
Mhm.
the best thing for May, even.
Eh,
Not convinced?
uh well no, like I said, I feel that it is very much a coin flip. Storyline wise, there is certainly enough for Storm to take the title.
Hmm.
I'm thinking that May will interfere, but it will backfire.
Ooh.
That's what I'm thinking.
Why you gotta be such a nihilist?
But that's
Okay.
that's what my thought is. Well, Tony Storm
It
doesn't
is
need the
possible.
Tony Storm's established too. She doesn't need the win either. But well, it's like it it will come down to how they book Mariah May's interference. If it succeeds, then yes, Storm will win. But I think that I'm going with the I think it will backfire route.
Well, I'm sticking with Tony because actors stick together. SAG after.
There you go. Well, and I'm gonna go with I will go with Sheeta for this one.
Now, I almost don't even give a damn about this match. I really don't. But
This has about as much draw as the no name street fight.
my only hope here is that
Big Bill.
a House of Black gets the belt. Either because Julia wins or because Julia doesn't win. Because really, the House of Black needs some damn belts.
Absolutely. I want House of Black to win. Out of the group, I would much out of all the people in these, I would like House of Black to win. See, there you
Yes,
go. Thank you,
absolutely.
Jeff.
Yeah, really, of any of them, they're the only team that I would say really has like the potential draw to keep the belts relevant. FTR, look,
F- F-
God bless them for what
FDR
they've done,
could absolutely, and they've been
but
pushing Starks and Bill.
yeah, which is fine. But I'd like to see Starks be more of like a solo act and really Big Bill be more of an enforcer. And Los Gobernables, I don't care.
Thank you for showing up.
Yes, thank you, Roosh.
Yeah, and that's fine. They still put on good matches, and I'm glad that they're mixing things up a bit with other tag teams. I like that. Like I said,
But
and
yeah,
like, it's
no,
like as much as I like FTR, they've been on TV for I think a little too long. I hope they don't win.
Malik
I
is my guy.
my heart, I want Starks and oh, crash. No, I want House of Black to win, but I think Bill and Starks are going to pull this one off.
I'm going with the house.
Okay,
House always wins.
okay. Play with
Well,
house money.
obviously,
Can never go wrong playing with
again,
house money. But I
no,
do
no.
think it will be between Starks Bill and House of Black as the two potential.
Oh, so you're not even like bringing FTR into contention on that
I
end.
don't think that they should be. Is it possible? Certainly. Who knows? Maybe they'll just throw a complete another screwball at us and LFI wins. Why not? But in using my intuition, my booking intuition, I'm leaning towards it's going to be either Starks Bill or House of Black, but overall I think it's going to be Starks and Bill. They're going to keep the belts on them for a little longer.
Nah, I don't know. It would be nice, but I have my loyalties.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So next match.
So the question is, Jeff.
Oh,
So I take it Jeff goes House of Black.
yeah, I think he's going House of Black too. Yes.
Okay.
Now this tag match.
Okay. Well, both teams won on the go home show.
Yeah, but
Golden Jets, Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho versus the Young Bucks. So they actually had Omega win over Don Callis' group. That doesn't happen often.
no, it doesn't. But again, that's more on the Don Callis end, which means
There's probably going to be an
more
interference.
likely than not, I can see the Don Callis family screwing over this match just because of Omega.
I think so too.
You know, now mind you, this might be the most geriatric match that's happening in the entire pay per
No,
view. All right,
just because Jericho's involved doesn't mean that it's a geriatric
it's
match.
not even that. It's Young Bucks. You know, the flippy dippy do whatever they want to, but you know what? When their receding hairline is worse than Big Show's, all right, it's not a good look. All right, Young Bucks haven't been young for a minute.
Is it worse than Kurt Angle's receding hairline? That he suddenly regrew?
Absolutely, yes. Don't call yourself young when it's like, you know, you might as well be like Kane when he took his mask off, half of his hair all gone because he shaved it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, but
But I digress.
I digress.
Yeah, compared to the two, I have to give it to Young Bucks
All right.
because I feel like just the fix is in against Omega, whether Jericho wants it or not.
And it's like I am very inclined to agree with you. They will be the newest member of the Don Callis family for this match. There you go. Good. Nope, that is true. There you go. See, I think we might all be in agreement on this one.
I mean, I don't know if they're going to join the Callis family because I think the Young Bucks are just that independent unit, but I could definitely see the Callis family interfering enough.
Yes.
It may not be to the point where there's alignment and ownership. It may just be like, okay, worked for us.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going.
And it's like, honestly, if it certainly feels that it could be the other way because you have basically Omega and Jericho, two main ownership figures versus the other two ownership figures. If it was Omega and Jericho versus pretty much anyone else, I would go with Omega and Jericho. But right now it's like, okay, all of them have the ownership title attached to them. So
with CM Punk as special guest referee.
God, no. Please no.
Oh, if only.
You might as well have Ric Flair be the special guest referee of this one.
He's done it before. He has
Woo! Yeah, he counts 3 by face planting on the mat 3 times.
Then it'll truly be the most geriatric match of the night.
Exactly. I was gonna say, if you want to go with the Jericho-atrics, add Ric Flair to the mix.
Oh wait, I spurned Jeff's ire by saying he who shall not be seen.
by mentioning the PM Kunk.
When you say PM Kung, that just sounds completely
for a
awful.
PC Monk.
Oh, that feels like we should be demonetized.
we probably should have been demonetized long ago, but
right.
yeah.
And then there is the pre-show.
Yeah, we'll finish it off with the pre-show. Or wait, no, we still need to do the MJF Jay White match too.
Well, that'll come after this.
So up next is the pre-show.
Because here's really the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
MJF, once again, 2 matches, same night. Whether or not he will have a tag partner for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship still remains to be seen. Does he lose either belt?
I'm going with no. Personally, I'm going with no. I think that he will team with Samoa Joe and they'll win, and all that all that storyline mumbo jumbo that I was ranting about before that should and could happen that could and should happen. I am going to go with that storyline. They're going to win with Samoa Joe. They're going to be tag title holders. Cole's going to come back, be like, "What is this nonsense?" And then you're going to have betrayals left and right, cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. MJF holds onto the title at first, and yeah, and then you have the evil influence of Samoa Joe because he the devil, according to Roderick Strong, and then somehow Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish fall from the sky and pin the Young Bucks. I don't know, but yeah. So for this one, I'm saying MJF plus unknown / Samoa Joe.
See, I'm inclined to at least believe MJF will lose one of these. I don't think he's going to lose both. I don't think they're going to screw over MJF that badly.
Uh Eventually, I think they will. That's the other thing I'm going on. I have a feeling that everything is going to come crumbling down on one main show, on their biggest show. They're going to have the fall of MJF.
Right, but Full Gear is not their main
No,
show.
so that's why I'm saying that MJF holds on to the belts.
But if they are going to go ahead and make this a slow burn, I don't know if you do it all at once. I think you have to chip away slowly. And at this point, not only does he have Bullet Club Gold on him, not only does he have Samoa Joe on him, but he's also got whoever the hell the devil people
Well,
are on him.
but
Got too many eyes gunning for him for everything to come down at once. Somewhere along the line, something has to be lost. He's already lost Adam Cole, and even that's kind of like
he lost Adam
a
Cole due
real
to injury. That doesn't count.
but that's the only thing that's truly been lost. Yes, Jay White's holding on to the Triple B, but it's still not his. I would say, just to add fuel to the fire, he loses the Ring of Honor Tag Championship.
Okay. So you're gonna go with the guns?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the guns on that,
Okay.
simply because the way the Ring of Honor belts are going at this moment, they need fresh blood. They need something. They need
I do agree with you in that aspect. I don't think it's going to be
yeah,
the guns.
it would have been nice if you still had Adam Cole around to help push the belts with MJF, but if you don't, put him on a tag team that will use him.
But you see that's where we differ. The other reason I think that MJF and Samoa Joe will win the belts is because when Cole returns, that's when the betrayal will happen. The betrayal will cost him the tag belts. It's the running theme. It's the running theme today. Betrayals.
The belts aren't at a level where it would matter at this point. They're just
But the
there.
betrayal will make them matter. But
I would rather
that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's going to be the guns. It'll be a different team. A different team that they'll be pushing. Maybe it'll be Black Throne. Maybe it'll be maybe Starks and Bill will lose this one, but then win the Ring of Honor ones. So I think that I do believe MJF walks out with both belts for this show. The next one, when Cole's healthy enough to return, and then he's like, "What's going on? You need me." "No, we don't." "Yes, you do." "Bam! You lose." "Oh, you needed me." Ha ha ha. So it's I think that he's going to hold on to him for this one. Cole's return will cost them the tag belts, and then it'll be Cole eventually teaming with Strong to win them eventually.
I wish I could agree with that, but I just feel like that's almost too expected.
With AEW writing lately,
I know. But
that's the other. So
at least I'm going to say MJF wins over Jay White.
yes, I think so too.
But something is going to mess up and have him lose the tag belts on 0 Hour on the pre-show.
Or he could win the tag belts and lose to Jay White due to a return/betrayal.
And that's also a possibility. But I think
Absolutely.
just because the Triple B means so much more, that I think if you lose the tag belts that didn't really mean as much, that just puts a little bit more emphasis on trying to fight for the one belt that truly is yours. No one else made the Triple B. He made the Triple B. That is his belt. That is MJF's belt. That is basically Orange Cassidy with the pocket belt. It is his. So if anyone is going to take that away from him, it has to be in the most absurd, screwed over way possible. Not simply because Jay White's been actually holding the damn thing for a minute.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I don't
So I
think
would actually like to have him lose the
no,
tag
I
belt.
agree.
Spur him
I
on.
do not think MJF will lose the main title. Not yet. That's going to be on the main pay-per-view. Their next main one.
Put me down for 1 win, 1 loss.
Okay. So Guns win, and then Guns win tag. MJF wins main title. I'm going with MJF on both, and so is Jeff. So now we'll just we will get Davion's predictions before the show. I'll write them down, of course. Maybe we'll post them on the website. So streampunkent.com. Definitely check it out. That's where I will send the predictions over to Scott, and we will post them for posterity's sake.
Sounds good to me.
You know,
And yes, if you want to go ahead and get yourself in, just like Jeff was, and let us know in the comments in any post before the pay per view Saturday night, this Saturday night, the 18th, go ahead and put in your predictions, and we'll add you to the list.
absolutely, send them to us. Post them in the comments.
But that will be it.
Streampunk and Jabronis United Universe. Send us your picks.
And yes, Jeff, as fun.
Because the picks
As
are
fun as we can get.
wonderful. Yes.
Good going, Jeff. You got him going again.
Yeah.
But yes, so we will see you all next week. Hopefully, Davion will be around with us. We will let you know what our predictions turned into.
Are we doing it? Are we doing it next week? Given that it is Thanksgiving the next day.
Well, here's the thing. While it is Thanksgiving the next day, we may go ahead and do like just a pre-recorded thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that Saturday following Thanksgiving is Survivor Series / War Games.
And we need predictions for that as well. So maybe we may do so that one will probably be pre-taped. So we may not be able to interact with the comments next time, but we will absolutely see any comments for it, and if need be, we will acknowledge them in the subsequent show.
Right. And of course, if you are going to put in predictions for War Games, do try to wait until next Wednesday, because for all intents and
predict
purposes,
them now too. Why not?
This Friday, and with Raw coming up Monday, there may be changes to the card, and we want you to have the most exact predictions possible.
Absolutely.
So don't try to go ahead and jump the bus.
But you know what? If you want to jump it, do it. Do it. We'll throw the chairs in the ring. Go ahead. If you want to throw your prediction in, go ahead.
You do what you like.
Whatever I do, what I want.
All right. Well, anyway, for the Sniper Kyle Krieger and for myself, the real deal Ryan O'Regan, this has been Jabronis United. Stay humble.